everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Highway 6 to Africa. It's your girl Petraa here representing. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Ron Mollinga, TyB. Ron, what's going on?
Hey, Petraa, how are you? You've sort of said a little bit. I'm doing great here on the west coast of Canada. It's a little bit wet where I'm at, and that's okay. I don't mind the rain. So, yeah, just absolutely doing fine. No complaints. Nobody listen anyways.
How about you, TyB? How are you?
You know the answer already. Who wants to know?
Ron took your answer. Well, we want to know.
Yeah, tell us.
I'm doing great.
Listeners all over the world, yeah.
Yeah,
ahead,
I'm doing extremely wonderful. It's a long weekend, and the weather hasn't been cooperative. It's been going back and forth, so it's telling us that, hey, all that we have had is coming to an end. But all the same, it's beautiful. And be reminded, this is the only long weekend that we have. One of the only ones that we have with the United States. That we have it together. And it tells us that, you know what, it's back to school. That's all we have. And then, you know what, that's what it is. So I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking, though.
You're welcome. You said a bunch of things there. First of all, back to school, story of my life. So definitely shout out to all the parents running around right now this weekend, getting the backpacks, the pencil cases, the school shoes. Like, yeah, just good luck with that, you know? I had to do mine early because I have a son that has size 13s. So I had to make sure I had to go seek those out, you know? So shout out to all the parents. And also shout out to all of our US listeners and Canadian ones, because it is a long weekend here. So, and it's a long weekend as well, Labor Day. So have fun. All those guys heading down to the parade. It's going to be amazing. All the wonderful costumes, all that good stuff. So
costumes again?
Yeah, they do have costumes at the Labor Day parade. So
oh my giddy.
Yeah, it's my kind of thing. You know, I should go.
You're going again?
No. Oh no, I'm not going. I'm shining out all the people that are there. Maybe next year.
All right.
I do have my jewel here, you know, so dressing for the occasion.
So, Petraa, can I ask, is your real jewel, is he going into grade 10 this year?
Yes.
Grade 10, okay.
Yes, thank you for asking. He has a birthday coming up next week as well, so.
Oh, gee, the first week of school, huh?
I'm telling you, you know,
that's
but
right.
get it over and done with early, you know? Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
But yeah, I'm super excited. We have an amazing guest that's going to be joining us today. So we're really excited about that interview. So let's welcome our guest.
Musa.
Hi, Musa.
Hi, how are you? You all right?
Great. It's a pleasure. How's everything?
Alhamdulillah. Giving thanks for life, you know.
Nice. I love that shirt.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. So welcome to Highway 6 to Africa. It's a pleasure to have you on.
The second time.
It's a pleasure.
Second time to have you on. Great.
Thank you so much. Thank
you for coming back. So I would like you to share with our listeners all over the world, if it's their first time connecting with you. Can you just share with them who Musa Filly is?
Actually, it's not the first time. It's not the second time. Actually, I think it's the second time. Yeah. And I'm saying greetings to everybody that is watching right now. It's your boy Musa. I'm a musician. I sing. I play djembe, guitar. You know, all of that stuff. And it's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Awesome. That's amazing. So I wanted to ask you, because we did a little bit of research with your bio, and it said you were born into a griot family. So that's a family that belongs to a lineage of traditions where they share oral history, musicians, all that kind of great stuff. Can you share how that mixes in with your music?
And he's frozen.
Hi, Musa. Yeah, I think you are frozen a little bit.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, this is second stint coming on the on the show. Remember, I think Petra,
It
if
must have
you
been a show when I wasn't here.
that's
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of that interview. So unfortunately, my
Thank
first
you.
time for our listeners, not their first
Cool.
time.
Yeah, Musa, can
Yeah.
you hear us right now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry about the
Oh,
connection.
that's okay.
Oh, that's
Go ahead.
okay. I'll repeat the question.
Yeah.
So I was asking, so you're
Mhm.
born into a griot family. Can you just share with our listeners what that means and how it connects to your music?
Um, Griot is something like being a griot is, how am I gonna interpret this? Like, it's a family that explains histories, like things that have been passed, and then, you know, their stories and histories of things that happened back in the days, and
Mm-hmm.
then, being a griot is it's in the blood. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you do music, like sometimes it's better you like it or not, you do music. Like now
Okay.
in this generation now, if you yeah, not anymore though, because I have a lot of family members that are griots, but they don't do music. I think I'm the only person that does music in our
Oh
family.
wow.
But yeah, but back in the days, like, if you're a griot, you must do music. It's either you play an instrument or you sing, or you just get to be in the scene of music, you know like you born with it,
Wow.
like, because here people go and learn things, learn how to play the instruments and all that. But if you're born in the Gaelic family, it's different. Because for me, I myself, I'm a percussionist, and nobody taught me how to play the djembe.
Oh
I
wow.
was just born, and yeah. So most of the instruments I play, I don't like. Nobody taught me. I just wake up and play them like that. You
Oh
know,
wow. You're born with a superpower.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That is so
Mhm.
cool. Because I
Right.
also love music, like TYB and Ron were lovers of music, but I don't know about you two, Ron and TYB, but for me, I'm like the only musician in my family. Like there's no one else that's into music. So you kind of
Right.
have to go through certain hardships because of that, But you find
Yeah.
a way to still do what you love to do. But it's beautiful to come from a family
Sure.
where tradition, and it's in your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
So, are your family supportive of your musical career? Like, how do they feel about you doing the music?
Of course, I have a lot of like full time support from my family, especially my dad, because I think my dad is the main reason why I'm into music now. Because he used to like make djembes, and export them from Africa to abroad, So my dad was the one that was pushing me, you know, doing stuff, taking me to places, linking me with musicians, that are big, that are cool, what I mean? So I definitely have full support from my family. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm just gonna ask you one more question
Yeah.
before I pass you on to Ron, because I was actually gonna ask you about your
Yes.
dad. So your dad's a well-known, well-respected musician, promoter, um, plays djembe. What lessons could you
He
say that
he
you
don't he doesn't play djembe
oh
actually. He just
djem he
he just
exports them?
export them.
Okay,
Yeah, he's a
okay.
promoter.
Okay.
He's a promoter. He used to bring bands from places to the Gambia.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for correcting me there. I wanted to ask you what lessons did you learn from him, that you carry into your music and into your work ethic. What did you learn from him?
Actually, I've learned a lot from him, especially like most importantly is professionalism. Being
Mm,
professional is something that is really important to him, like respecting the time, just being professional is so important to him, and that is something that I've learned from him actually. And I think it's really important to be professional in whatever you're doing. And you know yeah, definitely, he's a great guy. So he always complaining about time and all that. And then I think that's the most important thing, because if you respect time, I think you know you go forward. You know what I mean. So yeah, that is something that I've learned from him actually. Yeah,
Mhm. I
because
love that.
he's
I
not
love that.
he plays a little bit guitar, but you know yeah, he's more into promotions and exporting djembes and all that.
That's cool. Promoting you and
Yeah.
that must be a part of it too. So that's awesome.
Yes,
But I wanted to say you should get your dad
definitely.
to teach that lesson to a lot of other musicians about not being late and being on time because musicians love to be fashionably late.
Ooh,
Me too. So
definitely. That is the main problem he always have with me. That is the main problem
mm,
he always have with me. Yeah,
it's in the musician's
definitely.
blood. We love to come on our own time. So
Yeah, definitely. I thought he's only in the Gambia, but not really.
Nah,
It's
everywhere.
it's it's everywhere. Definitely. You know.
Yeah. Do you, Ron? Go ahead.
Yeah, that whole thing about being late. As I often said to people in bands that I'm in, if you're on time, you're late, because there's so much more to just a performance than just walking on stage and going and performing. Those of us who've had to
Mhm.
do lots of setups. Can you tell us, first of all, can you describe to us the djembe drum? What exactly is it? What is it like? Because there's people here that have no clue who that is, what that instrument is. So can you explain that to us?
Yeah, the djembe is made of like a wood tree, like a wood, like something like maybe a mango tree, or it can just be a tree. Not all the trees though, but it's made of most of the trees, and ropes, and then the skin of a goat. Sometimes you can make it with a goat skin or cow skin, or even goat skin and cow skin. And there's this other animal that they use their skin, but I forgot the name. But yeah, it's made of wood. The thing that they put the skin on is the wood, and then put some ropes. I wish I can have. Oh, but you already know the djembe. You know what it looks like, right? Yeah.
Well, some
So
of
it's
us
made
do.
of a
Yeah,
wood.
and it's how it's spelled. In case people want to look it up, it's DJEMBE.
Mm.
That's how but
Great.
it's pronounced Jimbe. So people can just
Yeah.
go online simply and look it up if they have an interest in it. But it starts with a D, um, the
Yeah.
first letter. You play several instruments, and you're going to have to pronounce the pronunciation or get the pronunciation on these. There's the sabra, the
Bukarabu.
bokaro. Thank you,
It's
and the
Bukarabu.
seraba. Is that
Seruba.
seraba? Okay. You also play the guitar and piano and the kora. I get those ones; those are easy. So what
Yeah.
what drives you to keep learning new instruments?
Well, like I said, being a griot, it's something that is so exciting because you get to do music for free. You learn for free. You just do everything with music for free. So sorry, what was your question again?
Yeah, what inspires you to keep learning different instruments? Why? I mean, I play several as well, but in order to master an instrument, it's really tough to take on several. So what inspires you to do that?
Well, for me, I think I just okay. There's a little djembe. That's a little djembe. You know.
Nice. I got a little one too.
Oh,
Cool.
nice
That gives
one.
us an idea of what it looks like. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what drives me? It's same thing. It's just same thing. I think it's being a griot. That's what drags me into it. And then I love playing all instruments. Because I love to entertain myself. You know, especially with the guitar and the keyboard. The djembe is actually a little bit difficult to be playing it at the same time singing. But for the guitar and then the keyboard is, I've been seeing people playing the keyboard singing at the same time, or the guitar and singing at the same time. So I think that is something that actually attracts me, like, because I've always loved to play and sing at the same time, but it's a bit difficult with the djembe. So I think that is the reason why, I've got into playing the guitar and the keyboard. For the Sewurba and the Bukarabo, I think that is in between the percussions, because it's all, the Sewurba is a drum, the Bukarabo is a drum, the djembe is a drum. So they just made in different ways, you know. So I think that is the thing that drags me into it, because I love to play and sing at the same time. And but with the djembe, you can't really do it. You can do it, but you can't really do it with the way you want to do it. So that is it.
Yeah, piano and guitar are known as being more melodic and polyphonic, meaning you can play several notes at the same time, polyphonic.
Yep,
So it is
definitely.
quite different for sure than taking on one instrument. It's interesting. I find personally the hardest person to get to sing in a group is probably the percussionist, because there's so much
Yeah,
going on. So that's
definitely.
just my experience.
Yeah,
Um,
same here though.
yeah, makes sense. TyB, you are a percussionist. You showed us a video there. So go ahead, sir.
I'm not as good as Musa. Musa is an experienced, percussionist, and he comes from a griot family. My question to you, Musa, is if you come from, looking at your background, does it mean that you can play the kora, you can play any other instrument if you are within that kind of a setting?
Well, it's not forced though. But like, if you agree it, like I said earlier, if you agree it, like back in the days, you must play. You must play something, especially the kora. Because for me, my grandfather was a kora player. He was the first person that played the kora in Radio Gambia. So in our family, yeah, I was actually supposed to play the kora. People thought that maybe if my dad, like one of my dad's sons, are gonna be a musician, the person would have played the kora. But for me, I chose the djembe. Nobody expected, because you know like kora is the thing I was supposed to play, but I turned to be a djembe player. You know what I mean? So yeah. So for me, I used to learn the kora because my mom wanted me to learn how to play the kora, but I started learning, and then I just quit. I don't know why I just quit, but I can actually play some few things on it though.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my follow up question, question, if I can put it that way, is the fact that your background. The last time you were here, you indicated that you teach foreigners. Even when people come to the Gambia, they come and learn how to play djembe
Hmm.
and other instruments. And at your age, when you were here, you said you were a professor teaching how to play djembe. Are you still doing it?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. Things have been too much, going and coming, so I had to quit. But I do have students from places, I teach them personally. I used to teach at my sister's school, Sona Jobarteh school. I used to be the djembe teacher there, but not anymore. Yeah, but I still do classes with people.
Oh, okay.
You know.
So that's when you are on tour, or they still come when they come to the Gambia and they want, then it's like part
Yeah,
time
yeah.
for you. Is that right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. And have gone through some of your. You don't just only play the djembe, but you have a group, or you are now recording. And what made you move into that direction? Because I know you've been touring a lot. And by the way, folks out there, if you don't know, Musa is from a very great musical family, and he's related to one of my favorite all-time female artists from Africa, Sona Jobarteh. So you know what? And Musa, you play with her, right? You perform with her.
Yeah, I do perform with her sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was featured on her album. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, I played most of the
Amazing.
tracks. I played djembe on most of the songs.
I've listened to some of your stuff, and you are really good. But then my question
Thank
to
you.
you is that if you're still not teaching, right? Whenever you are on tour, do people come there and do you do workshops for people? Because I'm very interested in it. Because I'm saying this to say that I've seen a couple of videos worldwide, especially in Canada here, where it's in some festivals, you see part of those festivals dedicated to djembe, just learning how to play djembe, because I've seen that in Edmonton Folks Festival and in the Toronto Music Africa, that's Afro Fest, and I've seen it everywhere. Why has djembe become so popular?
Well, that's an important question, but I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to answer that because djembe,
Right?
as you said, djembe is it has been known for a long time, and then you know I don't know, but djembe is just yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna answer that because,
Mm, mm.
as you said, this is a question like I get this question from a lot of people, though, a lot of people, and always if they ask me this question, I don't know what to say because I don't even know honestly.
Yeah.
Djembe is just yeah, because
It's
anywhere
it.
you go in the world, you see a
Yeah.
djembe.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go in the world, you must see a djembe. You can like
Yeah.
it surprises me as well because
Yeah.
anytime I travel, anywhere I go, I must see a djembe there. I must see a djembe player. Even there's not a djembe player, but I must see a djembe. Like even in the Indian studios, like I've
Mhm.
just been seeing djembes everywhere. So whenever I see it, I'm like, okay, actually, I'm lucky though. My instrument is everywhere. Anywhere I go, I don't even have to worry myself, carrying my instruments.
That's right.
Sometimes
That's right.
I travel without the djembe, because I know that okay, if I go to this place, I must find a djembe player or I must find a djembe there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So my other question to you will be, what is the history behind it? Because it seems like the whole world is caught up with djembe. Is it the art of playing it, and does it communicate something? Because I've heard on so many different um, great artists recording, and you have a thing of djembe in it. What is the history behind it? I'm very intrigued.
Well, the djembe, I think it attracts people. It attracts people, and then the sound of it is
Yes.
something like if you hear it, you must you must connect to it. I don't know for some reason, but it's so attractive. When you hear the djembe, you must be like, okay, I want to hear this. I want to hear more of this. So there's a reason behind though, but I have to find it out, and then I'll come back here and tell you guys.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Petra?
Yeah, that was really, really great. Thank you for sharing. I wanted to ask
thank you.
you, just kind of wrapping up, like what you and TyB were talking in relation to the djembe. I know that you've mastered a lot of instruments, but what is it about the djembe that makes it speak to your soul? Like, why is it that instrument out of all the instruments that you feel you gravitated towards the most?
I think that is because, like I said, my dad export djembes it since before I was born. you know. So I was born and raised within the djembes. I can say the djembes were my friend because
Oh,
everywhere, like my house, in my house, you see like 500 djembes, like in just the
What?
same in the room like that. Yeah, honestly,
Five?
like my dad used to export like thousands of djembes. Like he
Oh,
filled up
wow.
the yeah. So for me, I think that is the reason why because anywhere I go, if I turn my face like this, I see the djembe. Turn my face like this, I see the djembe. So I think that is the reason why. Like I just see the djembes everywhere. So just play with it
Mm,
all the time. Yeah.
yeah. It's your legacy, it's your heritage. It's like
Yes.
your world.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So in
Thank you.
2017, you toured with your cousin's band Sona at the World Music Festival in Switzerland and Malta. And you
Yes.
also did a performance in London with her that broadcasted on BBC Radio 3. How did
Hmm.
that recognition from those festivals and being on BBC Radio, how did that influence or impact your career?
Well, that was definitely exciting, and then I was really excited to be there, honestly, because I can say all thanks to the djembe though. All thanks to the djembe because
Your
if
friend.
it wasn't the djembe, wasn't the djembe, I don't think I would have been there because it's the djembe that my playing of the djembe that's what attracts people. That's what attracts my sister of you know putting me into that platform. So and
Oh,
it
your
just
sister was
motivated me. It just motivated me to play more of African instrument. Because like I've seen people in the Gambia that have been doing music for 2 or 3 decades. I mean, they haven't traveled to even Senegal. I mean, so with the Africa, but those people they've been playing the European instruments and all that. But as long as you're playing the African instrument, like there's a high possibility for you to be in those kind of platforms. It's not that
Mm,
surprising for me because as far as I've seen my sister traveling around the world, with the kora, and then the kora is one of Africa's most, precious instrument. Apart from the djembe, is the kora and the balafon and the djembe. So yeah, it feels good. It feels great, honestly, and proud of being an African musician, like African instrumentalist. It just motivates me, and then it makes me motivate other people, like other young artists or other musicians, to play more of an African instrument and all that. Yeah.
yeah, most definitely. That's very powerful. I love that you're saying these things, because I find like especially with a lot of young people when it comes to music, I feel like a lot of them are afraid to express their individuality with music and to try new things, And you being a young person and just playing the
Yeah.
djembe and just the kind of like you're embracing your tradition and your culture through music. What allows you to do this so fearlessly, and with such pride when a lot of other young people want to kind of follow along the norms and just kind of sing secular type music, like what is it, like what is it about that allows you to stand out and stay true to yourself?
I think it makes you unique. It makes you outstanding.
Mm,
Just like yeah, when you're doing something well, like when you find a lot of people doing the same thing, if you wanna be like different from them, you have to do something that they are not doing. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? And then in the Gambia here, like a lot of young musicians, they just jump and sing. They just cause singing is I think it's easy. You just
mm,
you just sing. Anyone can sing. It's just something that you can just work on, and because well nowadays people used to say I have a nice voice and all that, but back in the days my voice was horrible. You know, but I practice. I try to improve myself. You know what I mean? But still,
mm-hmm,
people are doing that. People are singing. Like there are people that can sing far better than me, and they still here. You know what I
mm,
mean? So, but with the instrument and the djembe and all that, it makes you different. It makes you outstanding. And that is
mm.
something that keeps me going, because I can sit here and challenge, raise my hand and say I'm the only one that can do this, and that nobody will dare to, stand in front of
Yeah.
me, because I know that they're not doing it. They're just singing and all that. So, but me doing this thing, it motivates a lot of young musicians. It motivates a lot of people. Nowadays I've been seeing people, like people far younger than me, doing their things. Playing the drums, playing the kora, playing. Doing good things. You know what I mean? So that is the thing that really keeps me going. Honestly,
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I do believe there are some young people out there that need to hear that, because a lot of young people, I don't want to say a lot, but there are some that are afraid to be themselves. A lot of people want to play it safe, you know? So I'm really happy you said what you said.
yeah,
And I'm hoping it inspires other young people just to not follow the norm, be unique, be yourself, you know?
yeah. I hope so.
Fingers
Definitely.
crossed. Yeah, Ron?
I have a question for you. I usually ask this of artists. I noticed in your bio it said to us that you're working on your debut studio album. What is the process that you go through for writing songs? Do you use the piano, use the guitar? How do you go about getting your songs up where they are? I know some artists, which I think is one of the downfalls, tend to just take all samples, stick them all together, and make it all one song, and bang, bang, and they've got a song together in about a day. So, what is your approach, and how do you approach this differently, say, than anybody else, or what makes it all cook for you, or how does it all work?
Well, I have different ways of, doing, like, writing a song or putting my music together. You know, Sometimes it's I usually do it with the guitar. Like I would just be playing with my guitar and then try to put melodies on it. Because me, the first thing I do is because I try to structure my melodies first, because words can always come, but I try to put my melodies together, because melodies are the things that gets people. Because, like, when you're singing, sometimes people might not even hear what you're saying, but the melody, they just vibe with the melody and all that. So I just play the guitar or the djembe, or the keyboard, try to put my melodies together, and then sometimes I would just record it with my phone, and then maybe go to my producer and you know play to him, and then tell him, okay, this is what I'm working on. Can we put this on progress, or can we just do this and see if we can come to be in something good. you know that is one of the ways I do my thing with. And then sometimes I will go to my producer, and he will play his stuff that he made already, and then I will see if I can put something together with it, and then, yeah, do it like that.
So, in terms of the studio album, what can fans expect in terms of the sound and message that you're going to be sending on this album?
Come again?
Yeah, you're on your debut album that you're working on. What can fans expect in terms of the sound and the message you're going to be sending to them? Usually, people have some kind of message they want to project, often in their albums. Is there anything in particular that you're going to be sending out to them in terms of a message of some sort?
Yes, definitely. A lot of things, anything you think of in this world is gonna be in that album, because I have like motivational songs, I have like love songs, I have songs that can, you know, just, yeah, it's all about everything though in life. I haven't put a name to my album yet, but I'm working on it. Because I have a lot of songs I have to choose, the ones I'm gonna put on the album. I have to trust some songs, not trust them, but I have to, you know, let some songs go for my next album, because the songs are so many. So I have to definitely sit with my people and then try to see the songs that we're gonna put on the album. But it's definitely something that the world is gonna love, because I've put so much work into it and then so much energy, So and then it's been it's been a long time now. I've been working on it. I actually released my EP like I think year before last, which was successful. I launched it in my town here. So right now I'm just hoping to give the world what they need, actually. What they need to hear, what they need to, vibe with and all that.
Yeah, and my last question before I pass you over to TyB is, what role does your group, we haven't mentioned them yet, Invisible Movement, play in shaping your current direction as an artist?
Come again, please.
Yeah, sure. You have a group, it's called Invisible Movement, and what role do they
It's a
play?
movement.
Sorry?
Yeah, actually, it's a movement. So the Invincible movement is a movement. Like, we have different artists in the movement. We have a producer, we have a videographer, we have other artists, we have promoters. So like each one does their own thing. For me, like, I'm the founder of the movement, actually. So, but we have other artists. Like, for me, all my friends are musicians. Some are producers, some are videographers, some are photographers, some are designers. You know what I mean? So it's a strong movement here that is really trying, actually. I think it's the only movement in the Gambia that has like all kind of people in the same movement, like having producers, like videographers, musicians, percussionists, and all that.
All right, TyB, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I love the conversation, how and where it is going. Petraa asked the question about, was it 2017? Petraa, yeah. How old were you then? Because it seems you've been in. Yeah, go ahead.
I was 16.
Wow.
I was 16. That was the first time I traveled, and then I spent only 5 days in Europe. I had to go to Switzerland. From Switzerland, I went to Malta. Then I fly to France. From France to Gambia. Now from France to Morocco, and then from Morocco to Gambia. It was within the 5 days. When I even came back to Gambia, people were like, "Hey, I've just seen you in an aeroplane. How are you here?" Like, I was like, "Yeah, I was just there for 5 days, so I'm here now."
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that
I
was,
was 16. I was 16 by then.
wow.
Wow.
So
I was about
yeah.
I was about to turn 17.
Wow.
My math says you're 24 years old then.
I'll soon be 25 though. I'll be 25 in 2 months.
Young.
I'll be 25.
Young.
Already.
So much. Yay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so intrigued with respect to that, because at 16, most young people will be, I'm playing this, so I don't care. But it seems the seriousness that you've attached, or you attached yourself to the profession, djembe playing, made you grow faster, made you get a very good starting point. Even up to now, you're still young. And my question to you is, you said something that was very also interesting, that djembe playing and your background with respect to the instruments that you play, especially the African instrument that you play, has made you who you are, has put you somewhere. So Ron and myself and Petraa have been talking about the fact that in the near future, you going out there to perform is the way to the future. And I think you've done something great that you can go out there. It's not a question of AI playing something for you. You are playing it. Because there are some African instruments that has not been, it cannot be sampled. no matter what it is. It
Definitely.
cannot, even AI cannot do it, right? Djembe, my question to you would be, what advice would you give to young people who are listening to you around the globe right now at the age of 16 who are learning how to play an instrument, or who are thinking of either playing an instrument or just writing something on this, on paper, and then going into a studio and then going to rap or going to play, to sing, and then come out with something without any sort of backbone, something that they can fall on if they cannot sing, if they lose their voices. If you lose your voice, that doesn't mean that you can't play the djembe. What advice, or instrument, what advice would you give to young people at 16? That's when you started touring.
Well, my advice to them would be, let them learn how to play instrument, because being an instrumentalist is really important. Like I said earlier, you can be a singer, you can be very good at singing, but if you don't play the instruments, there are certain things that you wouldn't actually get correctly. You understand? Because for me, the djembe is the thing that really helped me. The djembe, because if you're a percussionist, you have to know the timing, the tempo, and all that. The djembe. So, and then in music, when you know the timing and all that stuff, everything gets easier for you. You can be able to play in any kind of music. As long as you have the hearing and then you know the timing. So I think it's really important for the younger generation, for the young people that are coming up, to learn how to play the instrument. Because this is the advice I always get from 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 my sister Sona. Because like being an instrumentalist is really, really, really important. It helps you in 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 different ways. You know what I mean? Because in the Gambia here, a lot of artists, they're like, wow, I want to be like you, Musa. I want to, even artists that are way older than me, they're like, I want to be like you. I want to be like you. It's because I play an instrument. If they want to know how to play an instrument, they want to be doing things like me, but they can't really do it now because, they're supposed to do it at the time that they were young. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to learn something when you're young than to when you're, you know what I mean? So my advice to them would be, let them learn how to play the instrument. It's gonna really help them, in music. It's like, you know, yeah, definitely. That is my advice all the time, all the time. Play, like, learn how to play an instrument. Let it be any kind of instrument. Let it just be an instrument. It's either the djembe or the kora or the balafon or the keyboard, the guitar, But especially when you're in Africa, you definitely have to learn how to play the African instrument. Because if you play the guitar when you go to abroad, you're gonna find people that that play this thing with their tongue sometimes. So so you have to bring something that they don't know, something that they're gonna be amazed with, something that they'll be like, wow, okay, I have interest in this. Because if it is the djembe, the guitar or the keyboard, it's from there. You know what I mean? So if you're from Africa, you just do something or take something with you that is not in there. Even it's in there, but it's not theirs. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, that is my advice to the young people.
I mean,
Yeah.
very, very great advice, because from the age of 16 to where you are right now, you are still a young man, and you are a professional. You are one of the best djembe players that we've ever come to know. And even there, you are a professor teaching djembe at your age, and I'm so happy to say that people are looking up to you right now. As a geez, if I can learn this will put me where I am. So with that, I think you've made it. You are successful in my eyes, because I've spoken with your father, and your father speaks highly of you, and I respect your father for being, like there to support you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you being, in a straight arrow, performing with your sister and stuff like that. It's a great, great, great respect that I have for you. My next question, I think maybe I may be taking something from Petraa. Petraa is asking this question. I think I'll
Go
take
ahead,
it.
baby.
Remember.
Where you are right now, where how do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years?
Um, well, I see myself far away.
Oh, good. I like that.
Yes, I see
I like that.
myself
I like
far
that.
away, far. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
definitely. I can't really say where exactly, but I know that I'm gonna be somewhere very far in the next
Good.
5 years.
Great. Great
You'll be
answer.
like, okay, I've once interviewed this guy. He's so big now. He's
Two
hard to reach.
times.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
I
yeah, I want to
respect.
see myself working with people like you know Umu Sangare. People like the likes of Yusundur.
Amen.
Burna Boy. All of them artists actually. Yes,
Yeah. I like that. I like the
and
answer,
it's gonna
and I like
Exactly.
I like the answer
it's gonna happen.
because, like, I like the answer very, very much because at your age, from where you started and where you are, there's a lot ahead of you, and from
Yes.
where you are right now, from where you are sitting right now, I think even if you
Mhm.
say far, I would say far away because you still have the strength, you still
Yes.
have the family support, you still have the everybody behind you. So you know what? Thank you for exposing us to the art
It's
of
a pleasure.
djembe,
It's a pleasure.
and then the advice that you have given, the gem that you have given to young people right now. That hey, you have to learn how to play an instrument. Other than that, without that,
Mhm.
forget it. But then you've answered the question. I like that, Petraa.
Yeah.
Awesome.
With an instrument, you can actually entertain people even without singing. Actually, you can entertain people with only your voice, but it's kind of boring when you're entertaining people just with the voice. You know what I mean? But with
Mm-hmm.
with an instrument, you can even just play. People love to hear the sound of the kora or the balafon or the guitar or the djembe. You can just entertain people. Sometimes, like it happens to me. I lost my voice. And I was having a concert that day. I totally lost my voice, but I
Oh,
didn't
wow.
really get. Yeah, honestly, I was like, well, it's all right as far as I have my instrument. I was just that's what I'm gonna play. And then when I got to the event, you know, the lady that invited me, she came to me, and then I talked to her. She was like, "Wow, I can't even hear what you're saying." I was like, "No problem, I will play the instrument."
Smart.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so yeah, I was just there. I entertained. People loved it, and then the audience, they were like, "This is the best performance we got today because,
There you
you
go.
know, it was just the instrument. It was just the instrument, and then we really loved it." And I was like, "Yeah." Had it been I was not an instrumentalist, it would have been a disappointment, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to the whole thing because they'll be expecting me to sing, and then if I come with that, I'm saying so. It's one of the reasons why it's really, really, really important to play an instrument. You know,
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's amazing. I think you've given a lot of young people, even just a lot of people in general, some food for thought. I
yeah,
think a lot of people in the music industry, they focus on one thing, but you've shown that at least having two means if anything does happen, like you lose your voice, or say for example, God forbid, like say maybe you injured your hand, you still have one of your other talents to rely upon. So it's good that people know that they don't have to pick and choose; they can have options. Most definitely. So I wanted to ask you as well, Musa, you recently performed at the Best of the Best 2025, and that's Gambia's biggest event. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah.
What was that moment like for you personally?
Which event?
Yeah, how did you feel performing
Which
at
event?
that event?
I think he wants to know
Which one
about
actually? Which one particularly?
Oh,
which
will you perform? It's
event.
called Best of the Best, right?
What?
The event.
Oh, the best of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was my first time. It's an event that they organize here like annually.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
The
I
biggest
think
event,
this
right,
is
in Gambia?
the fourth edition, I think. So
Yeah.
this time is the first time I performed there, but it was amazing. It was amazing actually, because yeah, yes, definitely. Because I think I'm one of the artists that performs live band. Because in the Gambia here,
Oh
a lot
wow.
of people. It's just now people started, performing live. Playing live.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I am one of those artists that plays live. You know what I mean? All the other artists they just came and then play back and all that. And for me,
Mm.
I hate playing back. I wanna play live. I wanna I wanna be able to play
Yeah,
live. I wanna be able to play, so that people can hear what I do in the studio, like what I do in life. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
They
Yeah,
can feel
because
it.
yeah, doing this playback is like I don't know. I just I don't really support it that much. Yeah.
Ron will like to hear that, right, Ron? Ron love live
Yeah.
is
Oh yes, I much prefer live as opposed to, as I call, canned music in the background.
Definitely,
Yeah, I know
definitely. Because
TyB
just
this
when
one
people
too.
hear your song, when people hear you song, like they want to know how the process. They want to know how you do it. They want to see how you do it. You did it in the studio, so they get amazed by seeing you performing live. Singing live because nowadays there are this auto tune is everywhere. Some people they have like horrible voices, but in the studio they can make it anyhow. They can make it anyhow they want it to be. So but with live, you can be able to showcase your talent. Like, people can be able to see what you do, like what you're capable of doing. So that's what I did there. And
nice.
then for that being the case, like, it motivates a lot of artists, you know doing this live thing. Because for me, even though I was the one, because those people, the people that organized the event, they didn't actually pay for the band. They just, because they do, that's what they usually do. They just bring their stuff and then artists will come and perform, but they play back. But for me, I had to actually pay the band myself so that I can be able to play live. Because if not, I'll just be like those other artists that will just come and perform, you know. But I wanna be different. I want my performance to be unique, and that's which I did actually. Because I can say my performance was one of the best performance actually.
There you
So
go.
yeah, it was it was definitely good. It was definitely great. It was an exciting moment for me as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, congratulations. Well, I know it's not going to be it's the first, but it's not going to be the last time that you're going to be on that event. So, that's awesome. So, like, my final question I wanted to
Thank you.
ask you, you're welcome. My
Thank
final
you
question I
so
wanted to
much.
ask you is, in general, on a whole, where do you see,
Inshallah.
yeah, where do you think Gambian music, like, how do you see Gambian music on the world stage? Like, where do you see it, the future of Gambian music on the world stage? Especially with you being so talented and being out, you and your family being at the forefront of that. Like, where do you see it on the world stage moving forward in the future?
Well, The same thing. I'm gonna say far, far away because things are getting advanced now. People are getting aware. You know what I mean? It's already going because we have people like Sona. We have people like Pasalu. We have Jehos and all that. So the Gambian
And
music
you,
is actually going far. So I think, I'm just I haven't done anything yet. So you know, uh,
you've done so
I'm
much,
just
but
getting
it's
started.
so humble of
Just,
you
Right.
to
I'm
say
just
that.
getting. I'm, well, for me, I think I'm just getting started yet because I think I have so much to give. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like I haven't done anything yet. You know.
Mm,
So, but yeah, it's gonna go. It's gonna go far, I believe.
indeed.
Most definitely. We definitely believe it.
Yeah.
And if you're humbly saying that you feel like you haven't done much and you've only just started, we're so excited to watch your growth and your career. And wow, if you've only just started now, I can't wait to see the rest of the legacy that you building. So we wish you all the best with that. So
Thank you. You're gonna have it. You're gonna see it. You're gonna have it. Anyway, you're gonna see it. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, well, we're supporting you
Thank you.
here at LuvBay. So yeah, keep it up.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you in advance.
You're welcome. So any final
Yes, yes,
thoughts,
yes.
Ron, TYB?
Ron.
I would just say, hey, as Petraa, I'll reiterate what Petraa said, and that's wish you all the best for the future. And we look forward to seeing you in the future and seeing you maybe in 5 years or less from now to see how things are going for you. So, all the best to
Mhm.
you. I wish you, from the heart, a profound, successful career. And, it looks like you're on the way. So all the best. Eh? Cheers, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. And Musa, you know what? Been trying over the past couple of years to see your growth. The first time you were here, you were starting out or you were there. But now
Hmm.
to bring you back and then to see where you are right now, I'm so proud of you. That's why we talk off sometimes here and there because you are so busy doing what you were destined to do. And then you are doing it right.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, you're doing it right. And I think Gambia and Africa thanks you for what you're doing, teaching djembe, getting people to know what it is, what the history behind djembe, and everything that goes with it. And we thank you once again. I thank Papis also, and then your dad for putting his foot down for you to be on time. If you say you gotta come here on time, you got to be there. And this is a lesson for every musician, every artist. I can't stand musicians who go to
Yeah.
who come
Yeah.
in late, But then what is there right now? You are where you are right now, and then you are now getting started, just like you said. So you know what? One thing that I would
Yeah.
like to put
Definitely.
that there's a Gambian event every year, Gambian Week in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, organized by the Gambian community, and I've been in touch with them, and
Hmm.
it seems next year is favorable for you to participate in the Gambian event, and I cannot wait. I cannot
Mm-hmm.
I'll
wait
be excited.
next summer to
Definitely.
the negotiations and contracts are going to be put on this. I cannot
Yeah.
wait
Yes.
because I believe in what you're doing. So is this staff here, we believe in what you're doing. Continue to do it. By the way, how can people reach you?
So
How can people contact you? How can people contact
Going
you
up
in
a little
terms of
bit, TYB.
yes? Yeah, I think he's frozen at the very last
come
minute
again.
where
The network is actually. I
yeah,
can't really hear you. Can you repeat what
yeah,
you said?
yeah.
The connection is a
How
bit
can people reach you?
poor here.
Mhm.
Actually, I think it's raining, so the connection is it's a bit poor.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you repeat what you said?
Yeah. How can people reach you in social media and what are they?
Are you getting me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it seems you cannot. But then we would like to take this opportunity to thank you once again for making time
Hello.
for us to be.
But Mr.
Uh,
Medium,
You can hear?
We can hear you.
Oh
We
yes.
can,
Actually, on my
how can
on
people
my
reach you?
Instagram, on my bio,
Go ahead.
yeah, they can reach me on Instagram, Musa Filly Jobarteh official. I have my manager's
Information
account
there.
there as well. So if anyone that yeah, my manager's information there. So yeah, I think it's and on my Facebook as well, my Facebook page and all that. Musa Filly Jobarteh official, Musa Filly Jobarteh official.
Yeah. Are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok as well. Yeah, TikTok Musa Filly Jobarteh.
Okay. That makes
Yes.
it easier so that one stop shop, bam, you can go there. Yeah. Musa Filly Jobarteh right there. Folks, follow this young man. He's got a lot
Yes.
to tell the whole world, and then the whole world is ready to embrace you. Petraa?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Musa, I just want to say it's
Definitely.
been so fantastic to have you on the show today and just to speak with you, conversate with you, learn
It's a
more
pleasure.
about you. Yeah. And do you have any final words you want to say to your listeners? Do you want to shout anybody out before we go?
Yes. Well, my final words would be I want to say thank God for giving me the talent, because I don't think without the talent I'll be here today. So, secondly, I would like to thank my father for his motivation and encouragement towards my career, you know what I mean? And
Oh,
to the fans, I would say you stay tuned, stay tuned. More updates are coming, like more stuff are on the way coming. So let them just stay tuned and then, yeah, be listening. We're gonna do our best to give you the best, you know.
That's it.
And I wanna thank you guys for having me here. You know, I wanna thank
Oh,
you guys for having
it's a
it's a
pleasure.
pleasure. It's a
Our
pleasure.
pleasure. Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely. And looking forward to seeing you guys in the future.
awesome.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank
In
you.
person in
Yeah,
Toronto next summer.
definitely.
Yes,
Next time, inshallah. Fingers crossed. Yeah,
exactly. Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone tuning in to another wonderful episode of Highway 6 to Africa. It's been a fantastic show. Again, you guys make sure you follow Musa on TikTok, Instagram, check out his music. If you see him performing in a city near you, make sure you buy that ticket. You head to that show, okay? And you'll find us back here next week, Saturday, myself, Ron, TyB, with another wonderful guest. So I'm wishing you guys a wonderful, happy, long weekend for all my Canadian and all my US fans right now out here. And sending you lots of love from LuvBay. Bye, LuvBay family.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
See you next week.